The city outside your window used to smell like tulips and rain. You remember that. You hold on to it, the way a person holds on to something small and ordinary when everything large and extraordinary has turned against them. Amsterdam, your city, the city where you were born, where you learned to ride a bicycle on cobblestone streets, where your mother bought bread every morning from the baker on the corner, who always gave you an extra piece without being asked. That Amsterdam still exists somewhere, but you cannot reach it anymore. You are 12 years old, your name is Ava, and for the past 14 months you have not left this building, not once. This is your story. The place where you live now has no real name. Your father calls it the Achterhuis, the back house, hidden behind a bookcase on the 3rd floor of a canal-side building on Prinsengracht Street, accessible only through a door that disappears completely when the bookcase is pushed back into place. It is not large, 2 floors of small rooms, low ceilings, and windows that must always remain covered. Blackout curtains, because the moment someone outside sees a light where no light should be, the moment a shadow moves across a window in a building that is supposed to be empty, everything ends. You had learned to live in near darkness. You had learned to walk without making sound, soft steps, slow movements, nothing that could be heard by the workers in the warehouse below during the day. No running, no laughing too loudly, no dropping anything, no flushing the toilet between certain hours. You have learned that freedom is not just about walls and locked doors. Freedom is also about sound, about movement, about the simple ability to sneeze without covering your face with both hands and praying no one heard. You have forgotten what it feels like to sneeze freely.
There are 8 of us. I know their sounds better than I know their faces now. I know that Mr. Van Pels walks with a heavier left foot, clunk step, across the floor above me every morning at 6. I know that his wife hums when she is nervous, the same 3 notes, over and over like a broken music box. I know that their son Peter clears his throat before he speaks every single time, as if words need permission to come out. I know my father's cough, my mother's sigh, my sister's way of turning pages, quick, impatient, like the book owes her something. 8 people, 8 sets of sounds, 8 ways of being afraid. We do not always like each other. That surprised me at first, that you could be hiding together, depending on each other for your lives, and still argue about who left the butter out or who made too much noise walking to the bathroom at midnight. But I understand it now. When there is nowhere to go and nothing to do, small things become the whole world. The butter matters because the butter is the only thing you can control. And then there are the helpers. Meep comes every day, every single day, past the soldiers, past the checkpoints, past everything that could go wrong. She comes. She brings food hidden in her bag. She brings news. She brings the outside world in small, careful pieces and hands it to us like it is something precious. Because it is. I watch her face when she arrives. She always smiles first. Before she says anything, before she puts down her bag, she smiles, like she is telling us, I am here. You are not forgotten. Today was not the day. I think about that smile more than almost anything else. The days have a rhythm now, a strange suspended rhythm, like a clock that ticks but goes nowhere. You wake before 6. You must. The workers arrive at 8, and by then you must be completely silent. You dress quickly in the cold. In winter, the annex is never fully warm. You have learned to sleep in your coat. Breakfast is whatever there is. Lately, it has been less than before. The war is making everything harder to find, even for the people brave enough to find it for you. From 8 until 1, you are silent. You read. You study. Your father insists on lessons, on keeping your mind sharp, on not letting this place take from you what it cannot actually take. You write in your diary. You had filled 3 notebooks already. The diary is important, not because anyone will ever read it. You do not let yourself think about that, but because writing is the one place where you are completely free. On the page, you can go anywhere. You can walk down the street. You can feel the sun. You can be 12 years old in the way that 12 years old is supposed to feel. At 1 o'clock, the workers leave for lunch. For 30 minutes, you can move, speak in low voices, use the bathroom without counting seconds. It is the best 30 minutes of the day. Then silence again until 5:30. In the evenings, the helpers come. They bring food and, more importantly, news. You listen to the radio, BBC broadcasts, static-filled voices from London telling you that the war is still happening, that people outside are still fighting, that the world has not forgotten. You cling to that. There's a skylight above the staircase. On clear nights, you can see stars through it. You are not supposed to stand there, too visible, too risky, but sometimes when the annex is asleep and the city outside has gone quiet, you stand beneath it anyway, just for a few minutes, just to remember that the sky is still there. You miss ordinary things with a sharpness that surprises you. You miss the sound of rain on a street, not on a roof above you, but on a street while you are walking through it. You miss the smell of a bakery. You miss school, not the lessons, but the chaos of it, the noise, the feeling of being surrounded by people your own age who are worried about nothing more serious than examinations. You miss being bored in the way that only free people can be bored. Here, boredom is different. Here, boredom is tinged with fear, with the constant low hum of awareness that at any moment, a sound from below that doesn't belong, a knock on the wrong door, a single moment of bad luck can end everything. You've learned to tell the difference between safe sounds and unsafe ones. The creak of the building settling, safe. Footsteps on the warehouse floor during working hours, safe. Footsteps after hours, not safe. A car stopping on the street below, you hold your breath until it moves again.
It is June 1944. Meep came in today with her eyes different. Not scared, not tired, something else, something I had almost forgotten how to recognize. She leaned close and said it quietly, like even the walls could not be trusted with something this big. The Allies have landed. Normandy. It has begun. For a moment, none of us moved. Then my father made a sound I had never heard from him before. Not a word, just a sound, like something that had been held tightly inside him for 2 years, finally moved. He walked to the corner and stood there with his back to us. His shoulders were shaking. I did not know fathers could cry like that. That night I could not sleep. I lay in the dark and I let myself do the thing I had trained myself not to do. I imagined walking out. Not running, just walking, down the stairs, past the bookcase, through the door, onto Prinsengracht Street, feeling the canal wind, seeing the sky, not through the skylight, not through a covered window, just the sky, open, completely open. I imagined it so clearly that for a moment I could almost smell it. And then the car on the street outside slowed down, and I held my breath until it moved again. That is what hope feels like in a place like this. It does not feel like light. It feels like holding your breath and slowly, carefully letting it out again. On the 4th of August, 1944, someone made a phone call. The details are still debated. Who called? Why? Whether it was betrayal or accident or something in between. History has never fully answered the question. What history does know is what happened next. A car stopped on Prinsengracht Street. Men in uniform entered the building. The bookcase was found. The door behind it was opened. 25 months of silence ended in a morning. Eva is not a real person, but Anne Frank was,
and so were the thousands of others, children, families, ordinary people who spent the years of occupation hidden in attics and cellars and back rooms across occupied Europe, counting days, holding on to small things, keeping their minds alive in the dark. Most of them did not survive what came after, but they were here. They held on for as long as they could, and in the silence of their hiding places, in the pages of their diaries, in the memories of the few who helped them, they left something behind that could not be taken. This was their story. This was your story. You were the last witness.